G'day guys, how's it going? Merry Christmas to everyone out there. So I guess a lot of you are probably thinking, oh yeah, Rumble's not going to go live today because it's Christmas Day. But I figured I've got to go out to lunch and then I've got to go out to dinner. But in between, I didn't have anything planned, so I thought, let's go live. I know there's a lot of people out there like Matt over there in the chat. He's working up in the Pilbara, so I just thought I'd go live. A little bit of content if anybody wants to watch. I did notice like this morning there was like a gap there before lunch where I was just clicking on YouTube and there's not really any content to watch. So um, I hope everyone's having a good day, whether you're hanging out with family or whether you are up at work. Hopefully, I don't know, work has like a short day for you or something. If not, that sucks, but I'm sure you'll get through it. No doubt everybody who is up at work will have a bit of a Christmas with the family when they get home. I've got a second Christmas with my mum. My mum's in Dunsborough, so I'll be catching up with her on like the 6th of January. So I definitely know what it's like to not have Christmas on Christmas Day. G'day, Nath. Merry Christmas. Jackson, how are you? Ashton, g'day. Anonymous, good to see you here. I don't really know what we're going to talk about today. I did have, I can't remember what fish it is, Protomellus acatans or something. I had a female holding, I think I showed it the other day in a video, and I was actually going to strip her, but I just went in the fish room to have a look and check that she was still holding, and it turns out that she wasn't holding, and at the same time she had swallowed the eggs. The male had got himself wedged in a filter and passed away. So that ruined that plan. That's not a very exciting one for the day, but the only silver lining is there's only two left now. It does look like a pair, but whether they breed, like, it's very rare that Africans breed in a pair. But the guy that I got them off originally, he's still breeding them. So it's one of those fish. I might get some more, I might not. I've got the Hirte, which is like a very similar fish, but more color, in my opinion. So I don't know. I might just leave it and not get more. We'll see. I've kind of been thinking about getting rid of some of the Mabunas and getting more Hapatochromas or whatever it's haps. Mabunas have never been my thing, and it seems to be a majority of my fish room at the moment. Oh, Nathan, thanks for sharing it. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to share it. G'day, Chev. How are you? What was I saying? So yeah, for anybody who doesn't actually know, my like holy grail fish, or my favorite fish, is actually Malawi predators. So like the haps of like Malawi. So things like, obviously my logo has got the Dimachromis in it. They're got to be up there in my top 10. They're probably like the least of my top 10, but they're the most commonly known of my favorite fish. So that's why they ended up in my logo. It was like the balance between finding something that people can relate to and my favorite fish. G'day, John. How are you? There's definitely the familiar faces in town. All the people that I thought would be here have showed up. Man, this coffee's hot, too hot to drink. uh, um, I don't really know what we're going to talk about today. What I get for Christmas? Part of it's here. I'll show you. But I got some new motorbike riding gear. Check this thing out. So this thing is going to help on the channel. A few of you might know what this is. It actually goes on a tripod. It came with a tripod. So I got a new tripod for my camera, which is good because if you guys don't know, I've actually been using my laser work tripod for my camera. And then this comes off here. The camera can actually go on there. And this thing's Bluetooth. And it actually is motion sensing. So you can put the camera on the tripod and it will follow you. So I think that's pretty cool. John's going out to have a few beers. I haven't had a drink today. So for any of you, most of you, I've told you everybody on the channel pretty much, but I haven't been drinking, and then I drank at my Christmas party, and I was at the point where I was only drinking special occasions, and I think I'm kicking that off the edge. I think I'm just not going to drink at all anymore. I don't know. So I drank on Friday. I drank excessively, and I had I had a hangover or a headache and bits like hot sweats and stuff until Wednesday this week. So what's that? 5 days. I felt like crap. And I was talking to my dad, and my dad reckons that the same thing happened to him when he was about 25, which is younger than I am now. But my dad doesn't drink either, like at all. And it must be some sort of intolerance or something, because from what I've Googled, like alcohol stays in your system for 4 to 5 days, but like it's not normal for people to have like cold sweats for 5 days straight. It is abnormal, I think. What's my thoughts on a red devil? I think they're pretty cool. They're obviously like a cheap fish to get hold of too. They're not something I wouldn't breed them. And I know that your question might be based on breeding, because I know that you have been talking about breeding fish. I probably wouldn't breed red devils just because the chain stores seem like always pretty flooded with them. Like you'll never actually sell any. But the guy that's in the background there behind me, I've still got him, and he's actually one of the longest fish I've had. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. I've had him for about 4 years, I reckon. A memory popped up today. One of my stingrays I've had for 5 years, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, Chev saying you don't think that's normal. So like anybody that I've spoke to has never had that with drinking. The only person that can relate is my dad. So I think it's something that like an intolerance that he has that is passed down the line. Thanks, Dad. Mandra hasn't got any red devils. They want them. Is that like Mandra City Farmers or something, or is that like people in Mandra? The worst you could do is just breed them once and see if they sell. The fish is if when it comes to selling fish. Sorry guys, this is kind of covering a private message question. So Ashton kind of asked me in a private message what fish to sell to what fish to breed to sell, and the problem is that the answer to that question is constantly changing. You can't just say breed this fish. So the thing that you have to do is just breed things and see if they sell, and if they don't, try something else. And what you'll find over the years, you'll learn, and you'll be able to start predicting what you should breed next, because it's fading out. There's a fish that I'm actually in the market for now, which relates back to what I said at the start, that I want to start clearing out a few Mabunas and getting more haps. And g'day, Blake. How are you? I'm sure you've got a pretty full-on day with all the family and the kids and that. No doubt you were building some stuff at midnight last night for the kids. What was my point? What were we talking about? I've already forgot. Oh yeah, so like, it's kind of like the stocks. Like you've got to pick what stock to buy before it booms, and I definitely think fish are the same. Like especially like Americans. If you breed an American at the same time as another person down the street from you, you've both got like 1,000 fry at once. You're going to be competing with each other. You kind of need to think of a fish that nobody's talking about, and then you need to breed it, and then but keep it to yourself. Don't tell everybody that you're breeding it, because if you say you've got like a young pair growing up, people will try to look for that fish, and then someone might breed them before you. But you want to try and find a fish that nobody's talking about, that is starting to disappear slowly off the market, but not completely gone, that you can't find them, and then breed it. But obviously I'm a bad example because I show you guys every fish I own. But if you this is so like I'm trying to say this from a perspective of somebody who really wants to try and make some money on a fish. So like that's why breeders keep things secretive, because if you're talking about something that you're trying to breed, that puts it in other people's minds that maybe they might try and breed it as well. So like yeah, just a fish that no one's talking about. You've seen it on the market, and it seems to be slowly disappearing. And keep it to yourself, and don't talk about it until you've got fry ready to sell or juveniles ready to sell. I think that's a solid bit of advice. And a lot of people say I shoot myself in the foot by telling everybody online every single fish I've got, but I still sell a decent amount of fish, and you guys know I sell enough to break even, and a hobby breaking even is like a dream come true to me. Yeah, so Chev, the problem if you breed Trimax is even if you get them off a reliable source, and then when you come to sell them, everybody is going to claim that your Trimax aren't real or they're hybrids, and then you as a person with them, you've got no way of proving that they're not hybrids. So like Trimax is one of those fish that in Australia, it's going to be near impossible to breed and prove. Well, it is impossible to prove that they're pure, and it's always going to. That's one fish that Flower Horn have ruined, and I hate that. Like my part of my whole thing about breeding flower horns and talking about it is trying to eliminate that hybrid side of like F1 people crossing stuff and then trying to sell it as flower horns. Yeah, so I can do that. I'll try to do it properly, Ashton. I'll try to bring it up. It's on Messenger, isn't it? I don't really. How sad's this? I don't really know how to use Facebook on the computer. We've just become like, is it because we've become that much of a mobile device society? Yeah, like I lit here. Oh, inbox. I found it. I found the inbox from my. All right, guys, I'm back. So this brings me to an issue. Hopefully you can hear me now. G'day, Craig. How are you? Oh, and also, Anonymous, if you're still watching, I did say hello to you at the start, but you must not have been here. But you're back. Yeah, I'm back, Ashton. So, is it? So I got a problem, guys. My computer keeps crashing. So basically, I've been considering building a new computer for like All right, guys, I'm on my phone. Hopefully you can hear me. My computer just crashed 3 times. So, yeah, Santa's bringing a new computer tomorrow. Like literally, I'm going to pick up parts to buy a new computer tomorrow. So for anybody who doesn't know, I was streaming on the laptop. Oh, and the reason I'm using the green screen is because this is what my house looks like at the moment. But look, I've almost finished the room. I've only got that much tiling left to do. So basically, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to get some new parts for my computer. I've even priced it up. It's $517. And I was thinking about doing it, but it was only crashing when I was playing a game. I was playing a game called Anon 1800, and basically I was humming and hawing about rebuilding the computer for just a game. Like, I don't play games that often, but if my computer's going to crash when I'm live, well, I can't have that. It's just not on, is it? Hopefully the audio is all right, guys. I haven't got a mic set up or anything. As you can tell, I wasn't really prepared to set my phone up to go live. There we go. I've even got a tripod. I just want my coffee, that's all. So it's a bit more intimate on the phone, isn't it? Less like commercial. I do worry that with the green screen, it takes away from that like home DIY vibe that I go for with my channel. But look at that, that's beautiful. Who needs a computer and a camera? We just need to not have the sunlight in the back of it. The only problem is I can't look at the screen and read the chat at the same time. Ashton, thanks for the comments. Oh, thanks for everybody commenting on the tiling. Anonymous, cleaner than my house for Christmas. The thing that's doing my head in, and I hate it, is that film of dust through the house. Like you sweep the floors. I'm not really mopping them at the moment, just because one mop I've completely ruined, and the other mop I don't want to ruin. So kind of just only sweeping at the moment, and that's thin layer of dust that you get on the bottom of your feet. I hate that. What's my main channel goal in 2021? I think my New Year's resolution is to make better thumbnails. Besides that, I don't really care about how it grows or anything. I would like to get to 2,000 subscriptions sooner rather than later. But I try not to look at the subscription count and that, because it upsets me. So if you notice, like the last 6 months, I haven't really pushed any channel growth or told anybody to subscribe and all that. And I've actually been happier just because I'm not watching it. I'm sure a lot of you will gather that. But yeah, I think like 2,000 subscriptions, hopefully in the first 6 months of next year, and just better thumbnails. I've got the better app to make better thumbnails and all that jazz. I just haven't learned how to use it. Half strength latte with 1.5 sugars. I've got a double strength. I guess you'd call it a flat white, because it's only instant coffee. It's 2 teaspoons of coffee, 1 teaspoon of sugar, Moccona, and 30 milliliters of milk. Yeah, that's it, Anonymous. Being upset about the numbers is a shit thing to do, because it shows on the channel, and like if I start like preaching about numbers and stuff like that, I think I would lose subs rather than gain subs. I really want to work on my TikTok. I don't know if any of you got me on TikTok. I went like a bullet a gate. I was posting a video every day, 2 to 3 times a day, sorry, and then I got like one viral video that hit 300,000 views or something, and then I stopped because I was just forgot. This is Rumble's Fish Room, where we talk about instant coffee. So I watch a guy, Ivan on Tech. He's a YouTuber that does Bitcoin analysis, and people actually in the comments have a go at him for sipping on a coffee during his live streams. And like, he wasn't feeling well last week, so he was sipping on like a lemon tea and a coffee, and he was drinking quite a lot in the video. And like, people were actually having a go at him for sipping so much when he had a bit of a sore throat. So I guess we could talk about what else there is in 2021. I don't know. I want to change what fish I have. Not massively, just I want to sell a few. The problem is, like, obviously I sell fry, but I never move any of my adult colonies, which is silly because it means I become overloaded because I buy new colonies, and then it's like this vicious cycle where I've always got too many fish. Oh, that's awesome, Ashton. You built a rack. Yeah, black's my favorite color for aquarium racks. 18-year-old Glenfiddich. Is that like a whiskey or something? No, so I haven't decided what's happening with the 4-foot inside. I'm really tempted to put a Saratoga in it. So the problem is, one thing that's stopping me is, so the neon blue Acaras are dominating the tank, which means the discus aren't getting fed very well. So I kind of need to take the neon blue Acaras out, put them in a breeding tank, and then I need to fatten up the discus so I can sell the discus so I can get a Saratoga. But the problem is a Saratoga is going to outgrow a 4-foot. But then at the same time, like, I can just crank the water changes up, and like a Saratoga would be okay in that tank at like 60 centimeters. But the fact is, it would look horrible on camera, a fish that big in a tank that small. So like it's just, I don't know. I think it'd be something different, but because at the moment I'm sick of the tank, and the guppy grass has really just destroyed my emotions on the tank. Like, I'll actually show you. We can go here. Camera settings. All right. So I showed the video the other day. I'm not sure what day it was, but basically, I cleaned this tank out about a week ago, and I ripped all the guppy grass out, and then so see, like, where's my finger? That there is guppy grass. There's guppy grass shooting up there. It's all there. So that's guppy grass. That's Braziliensis. So you've got to try and differentiate the two. There's guppy grass there. There's guppy grass there. Those two skinny ones there. That's Braziliensis there. In there, that's all guppy grass all through that, and then like it's all floating around the top. It's through this plant here. There's heaps there. There's like a rainforest of guppy grass. The main problem I have is it's growing through the plants, so I don't know how I would get it all off, and without just getting rid of all of the plants and starting again. It's actually the death of me. So I've actually filled this tank up here with guppy grass. So that guppy grass is just all the guppy grass that I've pulled out of the other tank. It hasn't actually grown in this tank. There's no light on it. It's only natural light, so it doesn't really grow. But it stays alive. There's a little mate down there that we can't really talk about on YouTube. Bloody bristlenose is in the way. And guppy grass, but we won't talk about that fish. One thing I miss about the old StreamYard is the camera used to be easier to flip around. pain in the ass now. So yeah, we've got to get rid of the guppy grass somehow. To me, the easiest way to get rid of the guppy grass is to get rid of the discus and all the plants. Let me just catch up on the comments. Merry Christmas. Is it Naeem? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Everybody seems to love Saratogas, hey? I think I actually like Saratogas over Arowanas because they get more colour through the fins and that. Not the fins, the scales. So I don't know. To me, even though a Saratoga is cheaper than Arowana, I think they're a better looking fish. Yeah, Chef. It would be cool if you could share photos. Where's the camera? That way. It'd be cool if you could share photos in the comments on YouTube. But only. I had to read that 3 times, Blake. The only fish that you have is bigger than an average net. Check this out. Hang on. You wait there. I'll be back. Now that's a big net. If I like do the thing where you stand back and show the net. 14 inches wide. So I don't know about you guys over east and around the world, but there's only one shop in Perth that stocks these that I've seen. So whenever I go to Aquatics in Canning Vale, I always grab a couple of these nets because I always rip through the corners. I'm sure you guys know exactly what that drama is. Oh, Chef, you got an arrow. That's cool. Oh, John's back. Blake says his biggest net is about 1/4 of that net. I actually ripped mine the other day because I picked up a stingray with it. These nets aren't really strong enough for stingrays. What's 14 inches? Is it like 35 centimeters? I think. Anyway, they're good. They're cool nets. So usually what I do for big nets is I actually just get a net from BCF, one of their fishing nets. That's what I use for the stingrays, but I don't know where I've misplaced a couple of my big nets. I think they might be down the side after I've used them on the pond, maybe. Yeah, see, I was right. 350 millimeters. I'm good at converting inches most of the time. Oh, no. Don't spill your beer. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So if you want big nets for stingrays, go to BCF. I think like they do like a cheapo aluminium frame one for about $18, I reckon. Yeah, I go fishing, just not very often. I think I might be going a bit more, but because my father-in-law just got a fishing drone, like a line drop fishing drone. So I think he wants me to go out with him and hang out. Do you reckon we try the computer again? I don't know. Sounds a bit dodgy. It seems to be staying on now. So You guys will judge me if you see this. I'll actually show you. Why not? Well, what happened there? So, for my camera, I've got like X amount, very expensive camera, and I've got it on like a $5 mobile phone tripod. I need to get a better tripod for it for the computer, because my little tripod I use normally, it's actually too short for when I go live on the computer, because I need the camera to be above the screens. But it's just one of those things, you guys know. I always forget to order the little stuff. All right. I'm scared to remove the other one from the stream, but how do I turn that down? Anyway, I'm back on the camera. Why is it? Oh, I'm about to ask why it's moved, because I just took it all off. Oh, let's see the new tripod I got today. All right, so it's a bit of a weird configuration. So like, it's got smaller legs that like click and fold out, and then it's like a long pole at the top. And then yeah, obviously this is on the top. Let's see if we can get it to work. So like, if I hold it still, see I'm using the remote, and it actually turns. So tomorrow's video will actually be featuring it, because I've already recorded the intro. The only thing is the face detection and like the motion, I can only do that on my phone, because it needs to run through the app, and like your phone goes in the bracket. Whereas when I've got my actual camera on it, I can only move it with the remote. I can't use the face detection, but I think it's still pretty cool. The only thing is it doesn't have a forwards and backwards tilt, but I've got one laying around somewhere, so I just need to put an adapter on the top of it. I think it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so I'll get the photo. I'm just gonna show it on my phone, Ashton. So how big is he? He looks probably like 10 centimeters. You did tell me where he came from, but I was a bit confused on whether you meant like I bred the fish and then sold it and someone else grew it up, or whether someone bought fish off me and then it was one of their fry. That's the only thing that I didn't understand. But yeah, it seems like he should fill out pretty nice. Oh, I think it's pretty cool. He's got like a little bit of scripting on the front of his head. That's a bit different. The second one, so it's a fry from, I can't remember who you said it was from, and they bred a pair that they got off me, and then you bought one of the fry. So does that mean, so did they breed a pair from me, or did they breed one from me with one of theirs? Do you know? It looks a bit beaky, but at 13 centimeters, there's still a chance that that'll. Oh yeah, Gareth. So my Strigatus came from Gareth. Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's like 50% my bloodline, 50% something else. I think it's got potential. I definitely think if you breed it, you'll get like some quality fish in the fry. You might just have to cull a bit heavy to try and get a bit shorter face. But it's got a really nice solid script on it. Gareth's a great bloke. So my what do you call it? Strigatus. Can't think of the Dimachromis strigatus. They actually came from Gareth, and he actually gave them to me for free. So I did him. So that male that he got off me, I actually gave to him for like pretty much half price, just because he gave me a heap of fish for free. So I'm always willing to return the favor when there's some credit to Gareth. Do I plan on getting imports or anything? Do you mean import flower horns? No, I don't think there's really any more import flower horns coming in, because the market got so flooded by the guys over east that brought in hundreds that the risk versus reward now, the price of the imports has dropped too low to be worth bringing people, like the illegal side of things, people bringing them in. But I do have my eyes on a female that I want to buy, but the problem is my computer's broken. And the female I want to buy is $500, which is the exact same price as the parts that I need for my computer. So there's like a decision. Do I buy another flower horn, or do I buy a computer? I think I'm going to do the computer. I'm just going to bite the bullet. So I do have some tricks up my sleeve. So the gold-based boy, the pair that's on Gumtree right now for 500, that's a pair that I bred. If that's what you're asking, Ashton. But I've got the gold-based boy, which is first generation from import. I've got all of my fry, which are first generation import cross Australian. And then I've also got one. I'll tell you guys, there's only 8 of you watching. So there's one that I've been keeping a secret, and I've actually got a couple of Fat Boy Flower Horn F2. I'm just not really telling anybody about them. So I've got plenty of breeding stock at the moment. It's just trying to get them to bloody breed. I've also got my Thai Silk. He's purely Australian, but he's definitely good stock. I think sometimes at the moment, with the imports being around, everybody's getting a bit hung up on the term import, just because of the word. Whenever people come over, everybody thinks their favorite fish out of all of my flower horns is Richard, and Richard's the closest I have to an Australian flower horn out of all of them. So I definitely don't write off the Australian lines like some people do. You could message Blake and ask him how much he wants for the female. That the female that he has is a really nice female. I actually regretted selling her, to be honest. But I think if you bred that female with your boy, you should get pretty strong throwbacks of the red magma, because it would be like it would be a good mix. but that girl is definitely way higher quality than your male. But if you bred the two of them, you would get the quality throwbacks of the female more than the male, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's up to you. I think Red Devil would be easier as a first time fish to breed. The fry would be a lot easier to raise. Like flower horns, for instance, like the last 3 batches I've had, I've lost because of small little things. So like I've bred a lot of flower horns, so even as an experienced breeder, I still make mistakes. Whereas like a Red Devil, I would be like 90% confident that I could breed them and not lose the fry without a drama, sort of thing. So I definitely think that Red Devil would be easier. But yeah, like Chef says, it's just, and like I said earlier in the stream, it's just such a common fish, I wouldn't bother breeding it myself. Oh, the computer seems to be staying going. I don't know if any of you guys know computers, but it's an AMD 4000 FX 4000 series, so it's pretty bloody old. It's probably like 10 years old, and the problem is I had it overclocked, and I kept pushing it a little bit harder and a little bit harder, and it's actually, I think it's fried the CPU. I've actually got a spare one somewhere. I'm not going to go hunting for a CPU right now. That's an option too. I could just change out the CPU and see if it works. But it might be the motherboard that's crashing. I don't think it's the graphics card. Bit of research that I've done leading towards the CPU being fucked. Or yeah, sorry for the language. Yeah, cool, Ashton. I'm happy to see pictures of the stand. Yeah, so like, I think from what Ashton, yeah, exactly what you said there. Trying to breed for a little bit of profit. I think there is room to make a small profit off a pair of Red Devils, but I don't know. I just wouldn't really breed Red Devils, I don't think. I don't know why my phone's on loud either. You guys don't need to listen to that. Oh. So what's everybody doing for tonight? Is anyone having a Christmas dinner or anything? A 3 centimeter Red Devil would probably go for $5. I think the problem, I think you're looking at 2 complete opposite ends of the scale. You're looking at like a fish that's crazy common and worth nothing versus a flower horn, which is a quite expensive outlay and hard to breed. So maybe try and find a fish that's in the middle. I think like a good fish to breed, if you want to breed Americans, is something like a Red Terror. You might get more like $8 to $10 each, and but the same thing again. Like American pairs are just so aggressive. Like it's always going to be tough to breed anything American. You could breed like Acaras, like blue Acara, or if you wanted some neon blue Acara, I could do you a few of them cheap to grow out and try and breed. Because I've really enjoyed breeding the neon blue Acaras. It's been one of my favorites actually. Oh yeah, duh. I forgot about the time difference. I'm just getting ready to get dressed to go out for dinner, and you guys have already had dinner and ready for bed. uh, See, I don't know why my computer's crashing. The CPU usage is only sitting on 5%, so I think it's just straight out unstableness. Because, yeah, sad face. Yeah, well, I think Ashton, you said you were coming around next week to get the marble peacocks, so I can definitely show you some more fish. Um, yeah, chef. So I've never really done big Americans. I had obviously I breed flower horns, but prior to that, I'd bred a pair of Jags, but I think I got the fry to about 2 centimeters, and then they just had like a feeding frenzy and ate each other. Um, I think it was my error. I was trying to grow out like 500 Jag fry in a standard 2 foot, and they just smashed each other. I was doing like daily water changes and that just to try and keep up with it. And looking back, I really should have culled 80% and tried to grow out a small handful. If so, like, I definitely think if you're going to breed Americans, when you get fry, cull down the fry to a size that you can handle in the tanks you have. Um, uh, Anonymous, no, I'm not. I'm not having a drink tonight. I just can't be bothered. The only time I'll have a drink is if it's like a nice whiskey on the rocks. But I'll definitely, I'll still drink something that's going to taste good. But I'm not just going to. I'm not the sort of person that will just have 1 or 2 beers. If I drink beers, I tend to drink a lot, and then, like I was saying before, I just can't deal with the cold sweats for like 5 days. It does my head in. Um, oh, and the other fish that I bred that was American, I bred peacock bass. But thanks to coronavirus, there was an Australian shortage of um, brine shrimp eggs, and then I lost them all because I ran out of brine shrimp and tried to get them onto pellets too soon. And basically, after I lost them, I should have asked on Facebook, because after I lost them and like people were like, "Oh, when you're selling the peacock bass," I was like, "I lost them because I ran out of brine shrimp eggs," and like everybody started like messaging me saying, "Hey man, I had like half a packet in the freezer. This person had half a packet there, and it probably could have got me through." And I guess that kind of leads to the point of like, if you need something in the fish industry, just reach out to the community because they're always willing to help. Ashton, when you come over, I'll show you what I got for sale. Oh, I've got the I've got my Oscars, which I don't know what they're doing. They're just fighting. That it's weird, but so like, it's I shouldn't say it's weird, but because most of my fish do it. When the light flicks on, it's only when I walk in the sensor light comes on, and they relate that to eating. So then I notice when that light first flicks on, fish like even the flower horns, some of the Africans, the first like 2 minutes that the lights are on, the fish will actually fight, and then when they realize that I'm not feeding them, they'll actually calm down. So that's why, like, I think in 2 of my videos in the last 2 weeks, I showed the flower horns fighting, and you'll notice it's like when I first go into the room, and I was working on that tank down near near the Oscars, and like I point the camera at them and they're fighting, and I actually watched them. And if I just sat there for 5 minutes and then they realized that I wasn't feeding them, they actually stopped fighting. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that with lights and aggression. Like it, when the light first flicks on, there's like just like a bit of a tussle about who's the boss. Have I got anything, a sneak peek of anything? Well, I gave a little bit of a sneak peek of a little creature crawling around on the in the tank on my kitchen sink. G'day, Jared. How are you? I don't really have a sneak peek, but because I haven't bought any new fish. I got the Dimachromis compressor. Did you see them? I showed them on last week's stream, and I also showed them in the members video, but I don't think I did a video on the main channel. Oh, John, he's off the grog for life now. I don't want to be that person. I think I actually get more upset about the fact that I don't want to be the boring person in the friends group because I don't drink, but I don't actually care about not drinking for any other reason that I'm worried that my friends will be annoyed that I'm not drinking. It's kind of lame, isn't it, the way society is pressure, but what do you do? I don't really care. I really like cool drinks. So like if I had a pint of beer or a pint of Coke in front of me, I prefer the taste of Coke over a pint of beer, but I would drink beer if I was trying to get pissed with the boys, you know. Oh, Anonymous, you got to run. I've got to run too, guys. I was going to knock it off at an hour, but we can knock it off a minute earlier, and then that way you don't feel like you're missing out on anything because there's no more after you leave. Yeah, you can come over and have a look when you grab the peacocks. I don't really have any pairs for sale at the moment. I've just got the I can show you some of the Akaras, and then you'll have to get a pair going yourself. But yeah, just come over and we'll have a chat. But anyway, guys, oh sorry, Ashton, I got to go. I've actually got to go out to dinner. If you could hit the like button on your way out, that'd be great. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if anybody's watching it after, I hope you enjoyed it as well. The post-stream upload or whatever you want to call it. If you're not sure about the peacocks, Ashton, we can have a chat about it privately. But anyway, peace out, guys.